Breaking news. Bitcoin crashes to prices not seen since checks chart 4 days ago. Seems like everybody's in a panic, calling for an end of the bull market and for new lows when price has merely corrected by a few percent. Never change, crypto Twitter. Never change. Also, Giga Chad Michael Saylor has bought 4,000 more Bitcoin, and there are now 10,000 ADA millionaires. I'm going to look at the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA charts and review all of the news that is driving markets today. You don't want to miss this one. Let's go.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. And speaking of subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button, if you go down to the description, you'll see that I'm giving away $5,000, 10 prizes of $500 each in Bitcoin and Ethereum as a thank you to my wonderful community, all of you wonderful folks. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, hit that link down below, and then there are various ways that you can keep entering and entering and entering over and over and over again so that you can get a sweet taste of my delicious Bitcoin and or Ethereum. But let's now dive into what is more important, and that's what's going on with the market. We've seen a small correction, which of course has set a large part of the community into a panic, but it's fine. There's nothing unhealthy happening right now. In fact, I would argue that as long as price remains basically above 42,000, there's nothing much happening. Maybe we'll even range in the 40,000s if we don't break up soon. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA charts, as well as all of the news. First, we have the weekly chart here. Does this look bearish to you? This tiny little candle that's 3 days old is what's setting people in a into a frenzy, but seemingly, as you can see, I still think that this looks like a huge magnet, this 42,000. I honestly doubt we get it because that's what the whole community seems to want, and you never get what you want. But we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row, massive demand, massive buying, and bullish candles. No surprise to see a candle or two at this point, if it happened, showing a bit of healthy retracement. I have no idea where it will go. It could have bottomed right now. I'll show you some signals, but a little bit of retracement when you see that much bullishness is healthy and normal. And frankly, a retest of this whole area and this range that was down here as support would be extremely bullish. You want to see key levels of resistance retested as support. That is good. It confirms the move. Looking at the daily chart right now, we had this local level of 48,190 that we sort of discussed yesterday. Not a key level at all, but that is where this move ceased to exist before dropping, broke through it, tested it as support a few times. Now it has dropped. So we'll see what happens around that level. This is a bit of a steep line, but I'm seeing it all over my responses. So I added it to my chart. As you can see, 1, 2, potentially 3 touches. This is very steep, a bit of an ascending wedge. If you draw the top, people would expect that to break down. But I don't think there's a particularly key line, but it is one that a lot of people seem to be watching. And as of now, but we have a lot of time left in the daily, this is exactly where this move has stopped. If we saw doji like this at support, maybe that would show some indecision and that price could head back up. But there's a daily chart. We would need another green candle tomorrow to see that. Listen, nobody would be surprised if price comes back down to this 46,000 area and tests the 200 MA. There's been a lot of price action around that. But my instinct says if you're an MA trader and we've finally made this move away, that we should not see price trading below that anytime soon. But listen, every single time frame shows sort of a different preference and a different bias. Here's that 42,000 level. Could come down there. We will see what happens. I drew this on the 4-hour. We had the nice breakout. Yesterday, I shared this channel, and then I added this demand zone for the newsletter yesterday, right after I did it on the video. I thought I discussed it in the video, but I did it in the newsletter, and I said, this looks like, we could hold 48,190, but based on this channel, you would expect a drop sort of to the beginning of the move. We got that, tapped it exactly at the top of this demand zone right here. This demand zone, how do you come up with that? Well, it's drawn because it's really the last down candle before a major move up. So technically, if you wanted to draw another one, if you're looking for another potential drop, if you're trading supply and demand, this would be the area, right? Because price exited quickly from both of these areas, meaning there was leftover buyers, meaning there's leftover demand. It's a very simple concept, but it's sort of an idea of how you can look at the chart and find where there might be liquidity, there might be interest. Well, this tapped right at the top. So that's really interesting. We'll see if that holds and continues up. As you can see, if you sort of zoom out here on the 4-hour, this is the main range that we were trading in for so long, right? I mean, from May 19th, we dropped all the way down to just under 30,000, traded in that range all the way until basically, a few months later, 2.5 months later, exited and got above it. It has been retested as support, but it wouldn't surprise anyone for that to be retested as support again, or even that 42K level right there, which when you go back to the daily, you can see was the top of this major move over here and was kind of the key area after 2 support holds that was lost here. We want to see that whole area around here hold. Anything above that remains pretty clearly bullish in my opinion. Now, what I'm watching on really low time frames. Now, remember, I love RSI looking for divergences, especially when they're overbought and oversold. But the smaller the time frame, the less impactful the move. This is the hourly. So when you see a bullish divergence on the hourly, you expect it to play out over a few candles, not over a few days. But it can be a signal that price is reversing. Hourly did go all the way to oversold. We have confirmed bullish divergence when RSI made this elbow here. This could, in confluence with the fact that we hit this demand right here on the 4-hour right at the top, this could be a signal that that was just the end of the retracement. That's all we get, and that price continues up. So I will be continuing to watch that. This is my favorite signal, but generally I like to see it happen on the 1 hour. Then you look at the 4-hour and you see it there, but that's not going to be the case here, right? Because this has already come down below and price is already closed below. So we don't really have that there, and we don't have it on the higher time frame. So right now we're only watching it here on the hourly. Let's go into Ethereum very quickly. Nothing scary here. We have a nice, beautiful descending wedge. This should break up and send price back to this level. It's not that encouraging that we lost the EQ of this range, and that's been tested as resistance 1, 2, 3 times. But in general, yet again, if you were drawing demand, kind of the same idea that we were looking at there, right? You could draw a zone here and call this whole thing support, and we're still trading squarely within that, right? And right at the EQ of that support. So I ultimately would be looking for a break back above the EQ of this range and above this descending black line. But this is just looks like bullish consolidation after a move up. On the USD pair, as you can see, similar to Bitcoin, broke above the range, has retested it a bajillion-ish. I think that's a number, bajillion. A bajillion and 3 times as support. Infinity plus 2. Billy, you so stupid. Anybody seen White Men Can't Jump? Anyways, we've tested that as support, so maybe we come back down. Ultimately, the trade here is to get above this resistance and trade up, or you could try another test of the range highs as support. But this looks fine. Again, breakout consolidation. Oh, Billy, you so stupid. Okay, ADA, Bitcoin. I talked about this in the intro, and we'll talk about it in the news. Has made 10,000 millionaires. But ADA, huge move up, broke the highs of this range. You can now draw a local level here. This is really the main support is the top of this range right now. I just drew this today in case. But on the Bitcoin pair, looking really good. But once again, if you zoom out, this is not an all-time high when you're trading it against Bitcoin, right? 0.0006240 is the highest it's ever closed a weekly candle. You want to get above that, and then it becomes basically a vacuum into price discovery. But on the USD pair, it has made all-time high. Once again, I was looking for this retest of $2.47. It broke above, so maybe we still get that. That would still be a retest of the all-time high as support and price discovery. We saw basically the same move with Luna, Solana, quite a few coins going into price discovery. You want a coin to break out above the all-time high, retest this support, and head into price discovery massively bullish. But maybe 258 is as far as it gets, right? Because you had this sort of area where this move died. That's been tested now, support 2 times right there. So this could hold and continue back into price discovery. Nothing looking particularly bad to me. All looks like healthy retracement and potentially opportunities to buy the dip. Now let us dig into the news. Microstrategy announces new Bitcoin buy worth $177 million. I'm writing an intro about this in the newsletter for today. Kind of the idea that Michael Saylor is not trying to time the market. He's not a technical analyst. He's not trying to use all of his resources to trade this well. He just wants more Bitcoin, and he's averaging up, down, and all around on his positions. That's what wise investors do. They dollar cost average into an asset that they want to hold for decades, and they do it whenever they have spare cash that they're not going to need to touch. Same approach that he's taking as an institutional investor is probably the one that you should be taking as an individual. But here you go. They have a total supply now of 108,992 Bitcoin, $5.3 billion worth, which has cost $2.9 billion. Not bad for a year of investing. Holy crapo. Their average price is now $26,769. He could have sat on his laurels with his original purchases at $10,000, but he's been buying all the way across. His average cost on these was around $45,000. So he was not just buying these. Clearly, he bought over the last couple weeks. Giga Chad of epic proportions. Michael Saylor will not stop. We should ride his coattails. Easy peasy chicken greasy. Bitcoin slips below 48K as 100 billion erased from the market cap. Market watch. Of course, the crypto media needs something to talk about, so let's pretend that 48K is a meaningful level because it's not. It's just a number. But hey, it's fun. Yes, we're below 48K now. Probably going to zero, right? I mean, once you lose 48K as support, the next support is negative 3,796. But yes, it slid below 48K and had 100 billion evaporate in a day. That's a more meaningful number. Altcoins retrace hard. Yep, that's what altcoins do. When Bitcoin drops, altcoins take it harder. But if you believe we're in a bull market, which I do, altcoins dropping harder could be an opportunity for more gains as this healthy retracement comes to an end. We will see. Next, Bitcoin infrastructure firm Blockstream valued at $3.2 billion in new deal. That's a lot of billions. Mining is absolutely exploding. They're talking about building new miners, using the money. There's a whole lot of solar-powered mining facility in the United States. Clearly, mining is absolutely exploding. And in general, there's a lot of huge money being invested into Bitcoin and crypto infrastructure, right? In 2017, we didn't have good custody solutions. We didn't have efficient mining machines like we do now. There were so many things missing that meant that institutional money couldn't really come in. That has changed now, as you can see here. $210 million they just raised in a Series B. Absolutely astounding. We are not going anywhere because the big money is throwing their sweet cash, making it rain all over any company that has crypto or Bitcoin or blockchain in the name. Kind of like in 2018 when you could just name a iced tea company, blockchain iced tea, and your stock would go up a few 100%. Here's the story I referenced earlier. This is pretty crazy. Number of Cardano millionaires rises by 173% after ADA price hits new highs. That is in a month. The total number of Cardano wallets with a balance of at least 1 million has surged from 3,625 on July 20th to 9,830 on August 24th. Okay, not quite 10,000, but we're right around there. It's a round number, a lot more fun to talk about. But that shows you really how epic this bull run has been for Cardano, and that's without them actually having the launch of smart contracts yet. So it'll be interesting to see if this bull market continues, how far this can push into the Alonzo hard fork. But congratulations if you are one of those 10,000 people who is a millionaire solely on your ADA holdings. Budweiser buys Beer.eth domain name for 30 Ethereum alongside an NFT. This is really cool because they changed their Twitter profile picture to a picture of a rocket designed by NFT platform Rocket Factory. It's amazing. We're seeing so much adoption of NFTs right now. Budweiser now has an NFT picture as their Twitter profile and bought Beer.eth. I wish I had bought that for 29 and sold it to them for 31. Big gains. No, but somebody cashed in on owning Beer.eth. You can see NFT clearly just scratching the surface. I don't know what cartoons or penguins or apes will be worth in the future, but I know that the NFT space is just in its infancy. Citigroup gearing up to trade CME Bitcoin Futures. Sources. Citi will begin trading CME Bitcoin Futures first and then Bitcoin Exchange Traded Notes, one of the sources say. We saw Goldman do the same thing. It seems like the institutional path right now will be access to futures products before access to the underlying. Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, tipped his hat to the same idea, and we just saw a Bitcoin futures ETF launching in Europe. It seems much more likely that a Bitcoin futures ETF will pass in the United States first, and that a Bitcoin physical ETF will come after. I talked to Raul Paul about that. That conversation will be out next week. I just recorded with him on the podcast. He believes it's effectively the same, that this wall of institutional money waiting for an ETF can do so with futures in the same manner that they could do it with a normal Bitcoin ETF. These institutions have no choice. The customers are demanding crypto services, and they're going to either offer them or get left behind. Jump on the train, Wall Street. Jump on the train. Mark Cuban backed from Alethea, Alethea is creating intelligent NFTs. Kind of creepy. MetaPurse, Crypto.com are lead purchasers in token sale, including Multicoin, Alameda, of course, SBF has his money in this, and of course, Dapper. This is basically, you can see kind of the idea here. Listen, you won't be able to see the sound, but you can see it as I talk. This is a intelligent NFT, super creepy, but probably super awesome. But what this company does is basically allows you to add all kinds of cool features to NFTs to make them more lifelike and intelligent. As they said, they've already sold one of these INFTs for $478,000. So clearly there is demand. And, you know, Mark Cuban's money in it, probably a good bet. Finally, Ethereum NFT sales set records in validating, exhilarating day. NFTs are booming right now. CryptoPunks, Art Blocks, Bored Apes, and other collections hit new peaks on Monday, as did Marketplace OpenSea. I have no idea when this ends, but this is complete insanity. As I tweeted yesterday, maybe the top signal will be when one of these Ether Lambos I keep seeing flips the price of an actual Lambo, because now a CryptoPunk costs more than a Ferrari or an actual Lambo. Think about that. Would you like to buy, I don't know, a classic Ferrari or a pixelated picture of a punk? Most people said punk, to be quite honest. It's incredibly validating, exhilarating, but also terrifying, says Eric Calderon, Art Blocks founder and CEO. That is because this piece right here, part of Art Blocks, sold for $3,345,000 just the other day. It was bought for 0.58 ETH 2 months ago and sold for 1,000 Ethereum, guys. This is all way above my pay grade, way above my level. I'm a buyer and holder. I've bought some NFT art that I plan to, display on my walls and keep for years. For those of you who are flipping these, Godspeed. But all I can say is one day it will become a high stakes game of hot potato, and do not be left holding the bag on something that is probably completely worthless. I'm not saying NFTs are worthless. I'm saying that most of these NFTs will probably be worthless. Guys, that is all. So I have a lot of exciting stuff coming today. I have my normal 1:30 p.m., used to be 2 p.m., 1:30 p.m. EDT live stream today, which is my Chart-a-Palooza. I do that every single Wednesday. I take chart requests from my paid subscribers to the newsletter, and I go on a charting spree every single Wednesday. Usually end up looking at 20, 30 coins. Sometimes I've done up to 50 or 60 if we're in peak alt season. Pretty bananas. But something I'm even more excited about is, and this is very last minute, it's just happening as we speak, so we're getting this together. Obviously, you guys saw what happened with Axie Infinity AXS. So I've been looking into crypto gaming, had my team sort of exploring it, and I've been following Star Atlas for a long time. Well, they're releasing their teaser trailer today. Star Atlas, I really believe, will be maybe the future of the crypto gaming space. So I asked their CEO, Michael Wagner, they're doing their preview at 11. So at 11:05 on my channel, I'm going to run their trailer again. And then I'm going to ask him questions for like 30 minutes to try to catch up with what is happening in the crypto gaming space and with Star Atlas. You'll be able to come see that premiere on my channel a few minutes after 11 a.m. EDT. As for what else is going on, if you want to make requests and be a part of the newsletter, you can do that right down below. There's a link to join the Wolf Den newsletter. Tomorrow's issue will actually be free, so you should subscribe either way, paid side or free side. Femex, who has been a sponsor of the newsletter forever, is offering a $2,100 bonus if you deposit 1 Bitcoin. Kind of bananas also. And that's about it. That's about all I got for you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Yes, you heard it right. There will be 3, including this one, live streams today, so you can get this ugly mug 2 more times. Show up. Be there. Peace.